스나반다 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 스나반다.
Good morning. Welcome to our hybrid virtual in-person service. My name is Ty, and I would like to thank you for attending this morning's Donna Day High School service. We will begin this service with a moment of quiet sitting. Takata Kuahara will strike the bell, and we will sit for 1 or 2 minutes to quiet our minds and prepare to hear the Dharma. Then he will strike the bell again, and we will continue with the service.
나마아미다부츠 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 나반다 스나반다 스나반다 스나반다.
Takata will now chant the Shoshinge, which is on page 33 of the large service book.
Okay, so everyone, just a quick heads up. We will start Shoshige on page 33, and after we finish on page, what is this? 48, thank you. We will now skip to page 70, I think 5. Yes. So we will start from Namandabu and then finish at the Ganni Shikudoku. 召喚議事小安楽賢治南行六六新行異行指導楽億年弥陀仏本願自年年即時入筆上唯の上昇如来語おは大悲偶勢音天神菩薩増論説奇妙無下光如来永周たら見真実光線の頂大聖願こういう本願力栄光異道群長子を一心記入空読大崩壊筆逆入大永修修特使蓮華造世界即称信用保証人有本の人間人図入場人音事業芸本師鈍難両天使上皇乱消防殺来三蔵ルシ十条教凡上宣行気楽法天神菩薩論中下報道因果見性願方言猫ゆたり少女死因唯心人惑前凡部真珠ポーズ承知生じ即涅槃一子無量光明道小宇宙上回復系同釈結集おでんおらんしょう唯明浄土活入万全自力変言集円満特合感染症三不三神慶音語増末放滅道品一生増悪地偶勢死安陽外小妙化先道読名仏性意公愛上三陽逆悪公明明語敬因年海日本願大地界行者生寿今後心狂気一年総合用意大当逆三人即称小四上楽変身公開一大教変気安養観一切先祖終身反戦人法華二道小弁流極十悪人唯小仏我薬剤非摂取中煩悩証言水不見大義無見上昇が本資源空無仏教円民全幕本部に新宗教書後編集戦弱本願偶悪戦現来生自連伝下決知義上位少子即入弱上無意楽一致新人異能入五行大実習指導上細無変 構造セット。Page 75. ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく平等性際同法菩大心往生安楽。ナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナ。
Please rise if you are able to follow along with the Gatha, a special place, which is on the handout. Please, please remain standing for the reading of Three Treasures 1. I will now recite Three Treasures 1 on page 8 of the large service book. Please feel free to follow along. No, wait, Three Treasures 1. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it here to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken ourselves in the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be free from all images, become units of true accord in the life of harmony, in the spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Edabsu. Namo Edabsu. Namo Edabsu. Namo Edabsu. We will now have a Dana Day Dharma message by the high school students. I'm going to do this, right?
Yes.
Read that first.
But go over here. And if we go, like, line up next to each other. Because you're gonna pass the mics back and forth.
Take one step to your left.
Yeah. Yeah, go right. Perfect.
Gasho?
You're gonna read the opening thing, so, you're gonna go to this.
Please put your hands together in Gasho. As the sun shines upon the earth, awakening into growth the seeds that lie dormant in the soil, may the light of wisdom shine into our minds and truly awaken us to our ignorance, and by this insight stir us to strive for a life of deeper understanding and enlightenment. Namo Edabsu. Namo Edabsu. Namo Edabsu. Okay. Today is Dana Day. We want to share some of the ways to express giving. First, we have Kiki.
Hi, my name is Kiki, and I'd like to share some ideas for giving something you have. Giving can be as simple as giving away change, food, or a letter. For example, I enjoy making handcrafted things to give to friends, like origami, a written letter, or making any sort of small thing. All of these can show gratitude or appreciation, which is something I feel when I give these things to my friends and family, or when they do the same for me.
Hi, I'm Maddie, and sharing is also something you can do for others, like putting away the dishes like I try to do, or putting the paper towels in the roll thing. Dana is also something you can give, but it's something that you don't expect anything else in return.
Hello, my name is Hikaru, and I'm sharing giving something you know. So, how many of you have like taught someone or tutored or was a teacher? Can I get a show of hands? Yeah. So I think this is something, there are many ways to give dana. So you're kind of like giving others knowledge, like what you know, so that the people you're teaching get to know more stuff, right?
Today on Dana Day, we share our gratitude for the teachings of Shinran Shonin. We are students just learning and trying to understand the teachings, but we'll share what we're thinking and learning today.
So in the high school class, we start learning, we start class with sharing some things, some not so good things that have happened to us. And each week, there are common themes and are not so good things. So let's hear some of the stories about the 3 poisons in our daily lives.
So, every week, BCO has a basketball game. And, of course, we're going in and we want to win. And the other team is trying to win. But there always has to be a winner and a loser. So, is it greedy to always want to win?
In past years, I've been very mad, kind of hold a grudge, but it's fine, at someone who would be in a group and kind of just not do the work and then come back at the end and be like, oh, I did something. And it's like, sir, you did not. And anger kind of clouds your vision. You just have to walk away and be like, I won't kill you, but, I want to.
For ignorance, I joined jazz band this year, and in jazz band there are many instruments and many different instruments and many good musicians, and they're all like improving as we do it, as we go on in jazz band through this year, and they're all so fun to work with. But it's important to know that you still have stuff to learn, and we all still have stuff to learn when learning our instruments. And I'm learning a lot, and it's good to know when, no matter how hard you try, that no matter how hard you try, you still need to learn and try to improve to gain awareness of your ignorance.
And so, no matter how hard we try, we have hard days due to greed, anger, and ignorance. So, this is our life. What do we do about it?
Before we dive into what we can do, let's first think about what we learned about Shinran's life this year. Shinran practiced at Mount Hay? Oh, Hiei. Sorry. Goodness gracious. That, as a Tendai monk for almost 20 years, from age 9 to 29. When Shinran was 29, he was frustrated that he had not obtained enlightenment and went on a retreat. On this retreat, he met Honen and became his student.
Through Honen, Shinran Shonen's teachings and actions showed that enlightenment is for all people, not just for monks. Shinran found the sutra on the Buddha of immeasurable life to be the true teaching.
So, we know life is hard, just like us, just like Shinran. We can try, but our ego gets in the way. So, Tai, do you know if we will ever attain enlightenment?
Yes, Shinran taught us about Amida's primal vow. If when I attain Buddhahood, the sentient beings of 10 quarters with sincere mind entrusting themselves, aspiring to be born in my land, and saying my name perhaps even 10 times, should not be born there, may I attain the supreme enlightenment.
Another way to think about the three poisons in the primal vow is the teachings are the light of the sun, always showing us the way. Our selfishness is the clouds on a rainy day, blocking the sun. Even though the clouds of our greed, anger, and foolishness block the sun, we can still see what's in front of us on a cloudy day. Because we can see, thanks to the light of the teachings, our lives change and we become a bit more kind and compassionate when we listen to the Dharma. The compassion of Buddha always shows us the way. Our own selfishness is changed by the teachings, but our greed and anger always get in the way of living a true life. The truth of the teachings cannot wipe away our selfish nature, but that light transforms our lives to be a bit more kind and compassionate.
So saying that Nembutsu is our Jodo Shinshu practice. Nama Amida Butsu, what does it mean? Here are some things it can mean. Entrusting, great compassion, light, Amida touches our heart and mind, gratitude, never abandon, liberation, and protection.
When life is difficult or when life is good, it's simple and profound. We say Namo Amida Butsu.
Please put your hands together in Gasho. As the sun shines upon the earth, awakening to growth, the seeds that lie dormant in the soil, may the light of wisdom shine into our minds and truly awaken us to our ignorance, and by this insight stir us to strive for a deeper understanding and enlightenment. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. That concludes our Dharma message today. Thank you. Thank you, high school students, for your wonderful Dharma message. Now we would like to welcome some of the following new guests. Please stand or wave if I call your name. Dennis Jones. Tomoyo Otani. And Paul Wilhite. I will now read the announcements that have been submitted. If you have any announcements to be read at the Sunday, please send it to the temple office by Thursday before the service. All right. Virtual yoga is today immediately after the service. Zoom link is on the slide and the website. BBT Buddhist education classes. It's today at 11:30 a.m. in the Hondo. No registration required. Please feel free to join. Interfaith Vigil of Remembrance and a Call for Liberation. It's on Thursday, February 23rd from 12 to 1 p.m. at California State Building in Oakland. In observance of the anniversary of Executive Order 9066, BBT is one of the co-sponsoring temples. Kieshiki Affirmation Ceremony. It's on Sunday, March 19th during the spring Ohigan service, officiated by Bishop Harada. See Padma or weekly email for information. Application form is also available in the social hall. Next Sunday, the 26th, we will be screening the BCA at Taikyo service in Hondo instead of our regular service. It starts at 10 a.m. JSC parking will be available. The gate opens at 9:30 a.m. and closes at 10 a.m. sharp. So please join if you're available. We will have a tea social afterwards. Now all students will be dismissed. Please go to the front Oshoko, and go to the social hall kitchen. All others are invited to remain for Reverend Kuwahara's Dharma talk.
One more minute.
Oh.
That was not in the script, sorry. So before everybody goes away, I have one three-part message. Oh, by the way, my name is Karen, and I have a three-part message about the upcoming Shinran Shonin 850th and Jodo Shinshu 800th celebration that's coming up. As you might have already heard, all parts of our Jodo Shinshu tradition are preparing for the celebration of Shinran Shonin's 850th, the 850th anniversary of his birth and the 800th anniversary of the founding of the Jodo Shinshu teachings. And as part of that celebration, the BCA Bay District Joint Service is going to be held on March 12th at the Palo Alto Buddhist Temple starting at 10 a.m. And the Berkeley Buddhist Temple is one of the participating temples. So don't come here for the service. The service is either going to be on site or in person at Palo Alto, or it will be streamed online. If you are planning to attend in person, number one, the Palo Alto Buddhist Temple is offering a bento lunch. It is, I think it's $15, and it's only available by pre-order. So we will be passing around this handout. Has a QR code for registration purposes, and you can, at this registration location, you can pre-order your bento. We are also hoping to charter a bus so that some of us that don't like to drive so much can attend without having to worry about it. We are hoping to charter a bus, either 30 people or 55 people. It will leave here in front of the Jodo Shinshu Center at 8:45, and it will leave Palo Alto at 1:30. We're asking for a $10 donation for the bus ride, and in order to confirm interest in the bus ride, you can also register here. I will encourage you to please register, because that's the only way we know whether we can order a bus or not. It's kind of an expensive thing, so I don't want to order a bus and nobody shows up. So. And finally, as part of the subsidy for the bus, the Berkeley Buddhist Temple is going to have a Berkeley Buddhist Temple sushi fundraiser that will be next weekend. This is also available by pre-order. There are going to be some order forms like this that are in the social hall, and Carolyn Fernandez will be collecting them. If you are watching this online, or if you forget to do that today, you can also pre-order by emailing Lena Yin, and I think that, let's see. Yeah, or contact Lena Yin to pre-order, no later than Thursday. What?
Lena Yin.
What did I say?
You said Mimi.
No, I didn't. No. Anyway, Lena Yin.
Sorry, I misheard.
Yes, Mimi Yin. The sushi combo will be $10, and I was asked to tell people that this will be BBT sushi, so there will be big pieces, 3 inari sushi, 3 futomaki, and a little side of the cucumber sunomono. There will also be spam musubi at $4 each. So, in summary, please pre-order for the sushi fundraiser. This is next weekend, and it will be available after the service. Please register if you would wish to go to the 850th celebration in Palo Alto. You pre-order your bento and let us know if you were interested in participating in the bus. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry. Two more announcements really quickly that came in a bit later. So first, there will be the 12th annual Films of Remembrance, which will be in San Francisco on Saturday, February 25th, in San Jose, and also in San Jose on Sunday, February 26th. As part of the Untold Stories program, the documentary written and directed by Antonio Glenn, Before They Take Us Away, will be shown at the AMC Kabuki in San Francisco at 6:30 p.m. and also at the San Jose Buddhist Church, Betsuin at 7. There will also be a Q&A after the screening with self-evacuees Howard Yamamoto, member of the Berkeley Free Methodist Church, and Don Kaneshige, member of the Oakland Buddhist Church. And so you can buy those tickets online. And you can also buy the tickets at the site to watch the film online in the comfort of your own home anytime between February 25th and March 12th. All right. And then our very last one is today is Sunday, it's February 19th. So it is the Japanese American Day of Remembrance. So San Francisco will be holding a Day of Remembrance, carrying the light for justice, which is at the Christ United Presbyterian Church, 1700 Sutter Street in San Francisco. The speaker is Don Tamaki, and it'll begin at 2 p.m. So you can register or you can online. Thank you so much. And turn it back over to Ty or... Okay, I think now the Dharma School students are dismissed.
Okay, so now I'd like to start. Okay, so before I start my Dharma message, I would like to read this passage, how to listen to a Dharma message. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gasho. How to listen to a Dharma message. Listen as if I'm listening for the first time. Listen as if the message is for myself alone. Listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Dharma. In Japanese, 弔問の心得。この度のこのご縁は初ごとと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は我一人のためと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は根性最後と思うべし。何万打仏、何万打仏、何万打仏。はい、ありがとうございます。Bradley, can you capture my screen? No, you have a hard time. Maybe we may have some. Oh, another thing. Okay. Something's wrong. How about this? ダメだね。Oh. What should I do? Oh, MD. これ Okay. Myron, can you take care? We have a very skillful tech guy. I'm not so good at things. So, anyway, thank you, high schoolers. Thank you very much for your wonderful service today. Yeah, because of you, we could have a wonderful Dana Day high schoolers service. So once a year, BBT has a high schoolers service. And then kind of break for me, minister, and then, Dharma school student, they do a great job. So Takato, he led the Shoshinge Sutra chanting, a little bit longer than usual, our Jusege, other, Sutra chantings. But this is part of our tradition. This Shoshinge Sutra chanting started like a mid-15th century. So it's our, for Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, daily routine to chant the Shoshinge. So that's why at the funeral service, in our tradition, we have Shoshinge Sutra chanting, a kind of conclusion of our end of our life. So, and then, of course, Dharma school teachers, because of their guidance, students could have a wonderful service today. ね、ありがとうございました。本当。Yeah, of course, as a temple minister, I was so happy to listen to watching their service. Also as a father of Takato. ね. So now some of you remember he was kind of tiny, small baby, like a masa, But now he's led the sutra chanting, and then he did a great job. ね. And then all other high schoolers, they did a great, wonderful job. So today, as you know, my last service at the BBT was mid-January. And then I went to Japan, and then I also, for the business, kind of some meetings. And then just 9 days. That was my first visit since summer 2019. So when we had a Dharma school, Japan education trip. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I didn't go to Japan for about 3.5 years. So meanwhile, my Japanese driver's license expired. So to get a driver's license in Japan is really, expensive. Maybe we need to go to a driver's, license school and then have to pay $3,000 or $4,000. So I didn't want to lose my driver's license. So when I went to Japan, I renewed my driver's license. So that's kind of my, big mission to go to Japan. Of course, I had a couple business, meetings in Japan. So today my topic is when I was in Japan, I discovered I met some dharmas in Japan. So I'd like to share some with you today. Then, so as usual, before I start my Dharma message, let me share this quote from the writings by Shinran Shonin, founder of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. If you can, please put your hands together one more time. The light dispels the darkness of ignorance. Thus, Amida is called Buddha of the light of wisdom. All the Buddhas and the sages of the three vehicles together offer their praise. In Japanese, 無明の案を発するゆえ、知恵鉱物と名付けたり、一切諸仏三上種ともに単与したまえり。ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏ね。So, as I mentioned, I went to Japan for 9 days, end of January and then beginning of February. So this time I took a flight, Zip Air, which is a new Japanese airline company from San Jose to Narita. Not ANA, not JAL, not United. The reason why I picked this flight was lower or reasonable airfare. So this time, my round trip to Japan, San Jose, Narita, was under $900. So if you go to Los Angeles, LAX, sometimes you can find a reasonable price from LAX because the airport, so many airline companies are competitive. But from Northern Cal, especially Bay Area, SF4, usually 18 or 15, 20, right? But this Zip Air is kind of really reasonable, price. And then, this time under, 900, including everything. But, so this is the kind of, we need to customize what we want. So if you want to have a meal, you have to pay. If you check in your luggage, first, second, you have to pay. Like a 14 kilogram, 23 kilogram, 32 kilogram. And then even carry-on luggage, you have to pay. So if you go, like a very, simple light traveler, maybe you can reduce the cost. But if you, drag a lot of, suitcase, maybe you have to pay a lot. Yeah. And then they are very strict at the, measuring the weight of the suitcase. Yeah. Well, anyway, arriving at the Narita airport, I took a picture with Mario. Yeah. So this is a very typical Japanese, character. Yeah. And then, so arriving at the Narita airport, that was around 2 p.m. And then my final destination that day was Kyoto. So I took a Shinkansen train and then went to Kyoto, from Narita, Tokyo area to Kyoto. Yeah. But you know what? I arrived in Japan January 24th. And then that day, the major cold wave, kind of once in couple decades, hit Japan. So my arrival to Narita was okay. So it was clear sky, but I took a Shinkansen train and then went to Kyoto. Then, getting cloudy and then started snowing. And then actually my arrival to Kyoto by Shinkansen train was delayed due to, heavy snow. So I know some of you from, a snowy country here today. But in Kyoto, it's a cold place. But usually we don't have that much snow. Yeah. But as you can tell, so those are the pictures that I took the night I arrived at the Kyoto. So arriving in Narita 3 p.m., took a Shinkansen train. I arrived in Kyoto around 8 p.m. And then, so in the Shinkansen train, bullet train, I was thinking, okay, maybe I take a, taxi, going to hotel for check-in. But you know what? No taxi at the Kyoto station. Because of the snow, everybody after the work, they took a taxi going back home. So there is no taxi in the long, long line. And then, at the Kyoto station, I had a 2 big suitcase, and I was wondering, how should I do? It's a kind of walking distance from station to the hotel, maybe 10, 15 minutes walk. But already, the snow on the street is, thick. So I wonder, how should I do? But luckily, there's a shuttle bus between station and the hotel. So I could shuttle bus and then went to hotel, and then I could check in. Lucky me. So again, that is a very big, like a cold wave, and then many places in Japan had a snow, and then even where usually they don't have a snow. So next morning, many people, my friends in Japan, they posted a picture of snow because they had a snow, right? And then this is one of the Facebook posts of Reverend Koto, who is my friend, and he's also Jodo Shinshu Buddhist priest. Yeah. So he took up 2 pictures of snow and posted it on the Facebook. So first, I thought he lives in Yamaguchi Prefecture. It's a kind of south side of Japan. Usually they don't have a snow. So that's why first I thought, because of snow, he was so happy. So that's why he posted picture of snow. But when I read his message about the pictures, I liked it. This is very Buddhistic, like a post. Yeah. So this is my translation of what he posted. So he said, "Dear newspaper delivery person, I don't know your name, but thank you for delivering newspaper in the early morning for snowy day while I was sleeping. I can tell your hard work." Yeah. Oh. So those 2 pictures. Yeah. The first picture is an imprint or like a tracks of tires. And then second picture is a footsteps of the entrance of his temple. So he took pictures of imprint of tires and the footprint of newspaper delivery man. So, in Japan, newspaper delivery is early morning, like 5, 6 a.m. Reverend Koto, he was in bed, sleeping. But waking up in the morning, and then, snow. And then he noticed those, imprint of tires and the footsteps. And then he saw this newspaper delivery man from those footsteps or imprint. So in my Dharma message, sometimes I say, let's have a broader perspective, rather than narrow view. So this is what it means, right? This is just footsteps, footprints, or imprint of tires. But from there, he could saw, this newspaper delivery person. So this is a kind of, the meaning of like an interdependence or those kind of, Buddhist teaching, more practical, take. Yeah. So I arrived in Japan January 24th, and then I stayed hotel next to the Honganji, which is a mother temple of our school, Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. And then waking up around 5, and then I left the hotel around 5:30, and then went to attend morning service at the Honganji. So every morning, Honganji has an early morning service starting at 6 a.m. And then I love this morning service at the Honganji. It's very special. Yeah. So I was so happy, glad to be in Kyoto and then staying in a hotel next to the Honganji. So I woke up early morning and then attended the service. And especially the morning after the heavy snow. So I look forward to, Honganji covered by snow. Yeah. And so this is a picture around 5:30 at the Honganji. Yeah. So of course it's very freezing. It was very cold. And then, still we are like in the restrictive phase of COVID-19. So on the front, you can see the doors or shoji doors closed. But the side of the Hondo, they all opened the doors for the ventilation. It was really freezing. Right? So like 6 a.m. freezing, and then we, just sitting on the tatami mat, seiza, and then chanting for like 30, 40 minutes. It was really freezing. But, can be helped for the, our like ventilation, is very important. Yeah. So by the time morning service is hour long, so maybe around 7, before 7, sunlight, time of sunrise. Yeah. So this is kind of another thing what I wanted to see. The morning service is of course important, but this is what I wanted to see. So the Honganji buildings covered by snow, and then with the sunlight, it is so beautiful. Yeah. I took just a couple of pictures of the Honganji buildings. And then there is a restaurant across the street of the Honganji, like a Denny's kind of like a restaurant. Yeah. And then after the freezing morning service, I went to this restaurant for breakfast. Yeah. And then, can you see the price? So this is a toast, 2 eggs, sausage, hash brown, and then this is 440 yen. It's like a $3 something. And if we add, like a drink bar, or you can drink, like orange juice, coffee, tea, you can drink as much as you want. And then the total is 660 yen, or maybe 700 yen, like $5. So it's a kind of amazing. Good for me. So after the freezing, morning service, I went to this restaurant and then enjoy nice warm, breakfast. So after Kyoto, I went to Hiroshima, which is my hometown. I think it's nice to visit my parents, to see my parents, right? So I haven't seen them for over 3 years. I visited my parents, and then this is my hometown, Hiroshima, Hiro. So 3 years ago, Dharma school, we had a trip to Japan, and then that time we visit this small town, Hiro, my hometown. And actually, this is my the middle school that I attended. And then my mom moved to a new place, and and then my mom's apartment is located just next to the middle school. So I, saw my middle school maybe first time since I graduated. So I'm 48 years old now, like first time 30 years, I visited my, middle school, but nothing has changed. Okay, and then since I'm from temple family, this is my home temple, Joenji. Yeah, so this is a picture from Google, Street View. It's very convenient. So Joenji Temple. Yeah. And then many temples has a bulletin board. And then usually they put like a schedule and then some, Dharma, short phrase. So when I, went back to my home temple, this was the Dharma phrase, message on the bulletin board. In Japanese, 世の中に最も度しがたいのは他人ではない、この私。So, I would translate the most difficult one in this world to be saved is not someone else but me. or maybe the most difficult one in this world to be guided, right? To be guided or to change is not someone else but me. It's something like that. Yeah. So I thought this is a very Buddhistic or very Jodo Shinshu, understanding Dharma phrase. Yeah. So we come to the temple, listen to the Dharma. For what? Why? Because with this Dharma, we can have a clear awareness of who I am, how I live my everyday life. And then how do we get that kind of clear awareness? Right? Because of the light of Buddha, light of Amida Buddha. So in a sense, we are in the darkness of our ignorance. Many of us may think, I know myself, I know what I'm doing, right? But sometimes, many cases, we make, mistakes. We do something wrong. It's hard to realize who I am, or, how I live my everyday life. So that's why we need a light to have a clear vision to know ourselves. So that's why when we come to the temple, right? So in the Dharma school message, talking about the greed, anger, ignorance. But those three poisons, greed, anger, ignorance, not somebody else, right? Buddha is talking about my greed, my anger, my ignorance. Right? So that's why at the beginning of Dharma message, I read this, how to listen to the Dharma. The second article say, listen as if the message is for myself alone, right? So anger, greed is not about my wife. That's totally myself, right? That's the way, we should listen to the Dharma, right? So to listen to the Dharma is not to change the world. This teaching is not to change other people, right? Each of us seriously or humbly receive the guidance, words of Buddha. And then that's how each of you changes, each of us changes. And then when this society, community has more those people, right? Then the whole society collectively will naturally changes. That's how Buddhism, Jodo Shinshu teaching, changes this world or improve this world. So there is another, short Dharma phrase that I found on the bulletin board. This was in Kyoto. In Japanese, 別れが人を深める. It's a short phrase, but I thought this is really profound, very deep. Those are my English translation. Maybe some of you could have a better translation, but maybe separation makes us deeper, or maybe separation deepens the quality of our life. Well, one becomes deeper due to separation, right? So to live this world, we encounter separation. Yeah. And then, of course, nobody wants, be separated or kind of separation or death, right? But we have to encounter them. Yeah. But it depends on what we learn from this separation. Yeah. So separation brings us sadness, grief, but there should be something we could learn from our separation. Right? So on the second half of this screen slide, I put the teaching of emptiness. So this is one of the essential teachings of Buddhism, right? So basically, things has no fixed value, no fixed meaning. It's me who gives, this is favorable. This is unfavorable. This is good, this is bad. This is so this is how we give values, things around us. We judge. And then sometimes we suffer, sometimes we have trouble, sometimes we're happy. But from Buddhist teaching, everything basically, essentially, has no fixed meaning, value. So it depends how we see those things. Then we can change, the value of things, meaning of the things, right? So in other words, depending on how we see things, we can live a happy life. We can live a difficult life. So let's change our views, perception. That is the kind of point of Buddhism too. So in other words, we have to encounter separations living in this world, living in this life. But depending on how we, accept, deal with, or learn something, then we can give, different values to separation. And then that's how we can deepen or enhance the quality of our everyday life. So today, I use this quote of Shinran Shonin talking about the light. So we enshrine Amida Buddha. The Dharma school, high schoolers presentation talked about Amida Buddha. So we enshrine Amida Buddha at the Jodo Shinshu temples. This Buddha is called Buddha of the light of wisdom. So this wisdom changes our kind of eyes, views. Or this light of wisdom disperses the darkness of our ignorance so that we can see things more clearly, or we can have a broader perspective to see things differently. And then that's how each of us can live a different life. So again, thank you very much for attending today's service. Maybe some of you noticed this last slide. Oh, okay, yeah. So I would like to conclude my Dharma message, and then I think Dharma schools pizza cooking ready right now. So we can go to the social hall and then enjoy Dharma school's pizza for today. So now I'd like to conclude my Dharma message reading this passage one more time. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. The light dispels the darkness of ignorance. Thus, Amida is called Buddha of the light of wisdom. All the Buddhas and the sages of three vehicles together offer their praise. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu. Hi, thank you very much. So. Okay, so now we'd like to conclude this service. So if you want to, please come to the front for incense offering. And then after the service, I think around 11:30, we are going to have a Buddhist education session. If you are interested in joining us, please come back to the Hondo around 11:30. Okay, ありがとうございます. Yes, Karen-san.
What's the topic today?
Topic for today is a chanting, part 2 ですね. And then, ごめんなさい. Yeah, I totally forgot to say thank you to all those who have made today's service possible. ね. So first, I'd like to say thank you, Takato, for officiating today's service, and then Tai for being a chairperson. ありがとうございました. And then thank you, Romeo, for playing the piano so beautifully. ありがとうございました. And then all high school students for the wonderful Dharma message presentation. ありがとうございました. And then Karen Sensei for planning and then coordinating today's service, high school student service. ね、ありがとうございました. Thank you, Bradley and Myron and David and then Vernon for your help during today's live streaming service. ね、ありがとう. Thank you for technical support. And thank you, Raya and Tony, for monitoring the chat room on our YouTube channel. ありがとうございます. And then February monthly Toban monthly group for preparing the refreshment. And then Dharma school student for making a pizza for our coffee social. ありがとうございます. So this concludes today's service. Thank you everyone for joining today's service in person and virtually. So we hope you will join us for screening the BCA Eitaikyo service next Sunday at 10 a.m. here in the Hondo. Okay, ありがとうございます。Thank you very much.